Hello guys and welcome back to another blog of Excel Help. Today we are going to discuss on this is going to be the chapter 3 and we are going to discuss on the below topics, which is additional functions available in Excel and date and time. So the additional functions are going to cover with concatenation, trim, clean function, length, upper, lower, proper, left, right and mid functions. So let us start with the functions. Concatenation. Concatenation is nothing but merging of two or more cells of data together. Merging, when I say we are going to add or club together two cells of data together. Now below I am giving you a few examples so that it will be clearly understandable. First example, let's say that this is the first and last name is Karthik Denver. So the formula, when I write it, it's going to be as equals concatenate B3, and then I'm giving a space in between two apostrophe or double quotes, sorry, between two double quotes, and then a comma again, and I'm selecting the last name there. So when I hit an enter, it says Karthik space Denver. So if I don't give this space in between the first and last name, this is how it will actually look as one word. So for the second name, I have put as numbers here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, BJ. So once I concatenate it, it's going to be as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 space BJ. Now the third example is slightly different. If we have a long list of employee IDs with the names as how usually an MIS person gets data. So he would need to go ahead and show it as employee ID is the numbers with the name as this. Maybe it's a requirement. So he will not go ahead and type this out for all the cells, but he will create the formula in this way. So the fixed part of this particular result is employee ID is with a space. Then there is a semicolon here, over here. And after that there is something called name is with a space. So I will go ahead and write the formula as concatenate, open the bracket, double quotes, employee ID is, and I will include a space as well. If I don't do that, I have to give it separately as how I've given in the above two cells. Then I'm going to select B5. Then I'm going to give a quotation with a space, and then I'm going to give it as name is under quotation again, and then I will select C5 as the last name. So this will give me the result as employee ID is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colon, semicolon, space, name is BJ. Let's take one more example. A number there, let's say Karthik. If I do a control D, it's going to copy and give out the same thing as employee ID is 456234, semicolon space, name is with space and Karthik. I hope this is cleared out, because this is concatenation. There's another way of merging two cells together by using ampersand as well. That will be a little more complicated, whereas this is pretty simple. You can just use the formula equals concatenate, and then just add the two cells together and you will be able to merge it. So moving on, let's go to the trim function. Trim actually removes unwanted space from beginning and end of the cell. So if I say this is the same Karthik with space in the beginning, and Narayana with a space in the beginning, and Venkatesh has space in the beginning as well as in the end. If I use trim function, it will actually remove the spaces from both front and end of the particular cell. This can be checked. The function is actually trim, and just select the cell number and hit enter. You have the three names here without the spaces. This can be further checked by copying that and pasting it as values and number format in the adjacent cell. If you click on F2, you don't see any space at the beginning or at the end of the name. So hope that was also clear to you guys. Moving on to the clean function. The clean function basically removes any non-printable characters which are present in a particular cell. This usually comes in when you import data from a text. There is a high possibility that this kind of characters do come in. I don't have any sample at the moment, but as we go ahead with the training and we come across any of this, we will be using the clean function, and I will explain it out to you even more in detail. So basically, if there is a name here with some unprintable or junk characters here, clean function helps us to remove that and gives us only the word Karthik. Let's move on to the length function. Length tells us the number of characters in a particular cell. Now I'll take the same example. So for the first one, the syntax is equal to length, open parenthesis, select the cell number and close the parenthesis. So here you have 8 characters. However, the word here, the number of characters, if we count it manually, it is 7. The reason being, there is a space in the beginning. If I remove that space and hit enter, it changes at 7. So what I'm trying to say is, this length will calculate spaces as well as a character, and it will give you a count which is more than the number of letters in that particular cell. Same is the case with Narayana as well. We have 8 alphabets, but there is one space, so it's telling us 9. And Venkatesh as well. We actually have 9 alphabets, but there are 2 spaces that gives us 11 characters. Hope this was also clear. We'll move on to upper and lower case. The uppercase is a function which will completely change the cell contents into uppercase alphabets, and same is the case, it's a vice versa for lower. It converts the complete cells into lowercase letters. The syntax is pretty simple, equals upper cell number. If you select U3, it will give us as completely as uppercase Karthik, Narayana and Venkatesh, and vice versa for lowercase, it is lower, and if you select the cell number, it will all print it out as lowercase. For proper, the first letter of that particular cell, or the first letter of all the words in that particular cell will go as caps. So this is Karthik, and if I say BJ, this is another example. K, which is the first letter of the first word, and B is the first letter of the second last word, last name, it goes into caps. Same is the case with Narayana and Venkatesh. So these are basic functions which are there in Excel. A combination of these is very useful, especially people who are working in HR departments or in admin departments. They can use all this to make their work easy. Use these functions to make their work easy. So left, it picks the number of characters from the left side of a cell. So what I'm trying to say here is, if I select the word Karthik and use the function equals left with open parenthesis, I will select the cell number and say I need 3 characters and close the parenthesis and hit enter. From the left, it will count 1, 2, and 3, and it gives me that many number of characters. So same is the case with Narayana, but however for Narayana I've selected 4 characters from the left side, and for Venkatesh I've selected 7 characters, and that's how the output will be given. Same is the case for right. It's a vice versa of left. Syntax is the same. Right, instead of left you will select as right, and you will select the cell number and give the number of characters that you need from the right side. So that is HIK, YANA, and NKATESH. So these are the number of characters which is counted and provided the details here. Coming over to mid. Mid is a function which picks the number of characters from anywhere in between a cell. Now, the left was picking up the number of characters only from the left side. Right was picking up the number of characters only from the right side. But mid, we are telling the 2XL or that particular cell to give me the number of characters from one particular point of that XL to another point in the same cell. Syntax is very simple, equals mid. You will select the cell number. I am telling it to start from the cell number, the character number 2 and go until the character number 5. So again, this count is from the left side of the particular cell, and it will count and it's picking out the data. Now if I say 2, it starts from the left side, A, 1, okay, then it will go up to the 5th character, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That will go up to I. Right, so say mid is something where you are able to extract the data from a particular cell from in between the letters of that particular cell, and you will get the output over that. So you have any doubts till here, you can actually shoot those questions in the comment section and I'll be able to help you out with that. So now let us move on to the date and time. Let's start with the date first. Dates are basically a whole number for an Excel. When I say a whole number, now I will choose today's date. Mine is MDYY format. Right, so if I'm going to convert this format by selecting as right click, give me one moment. Right, so if I select this as general, it is going to give me a number. Now this number, if I select it to 2 decimal places, it says 00. So this is what I mean by saying as a whole number. Now this is a whole number because the decimals are all 0. Now this, when I say that it's a whole number, a date will always be associated with time, right? So if I format it to only the time here without the date, it tells that it is 12 a.m. So this condition of a whole number for a date to be in an Excel, it means that the time frame that is mentioned in this particular cell, which you can see here, is actually at 12 a.m. So only then this particular condition will be satisfied. This you will understand better when I go into the times here, the time part of the date, and it will be pretty clear for you. At the moment when you are mentioning only a date, it will always be a whole number. right? So this is the whole number. So if you need to change the format of this, let us look at the different formats that are available. Under date, you have as date, the date only, then the month and the year, which will show something like this. Or you can show the day as well, the complete day. Or you can show custom like DD, MMM, YY with TTT with a short day. So Excel gives you that flexibility where you can mention the date in the required format that you need it as per your report. So let's move on now to the time. I don't want to drag this session too long. I want to keep it as short as possible. So time is something which gives the decimal part of the date. That is what I showed it to you here. Now, if I say equals today, which is a function. Now this, if I go ahead, or let's use it as now. Now we'll tell you what is the current time, which is there right now. I'll just change this a little bit. So there's a time, the date and the time, and if you look at this as number, it will show the decimal portion of that. So which is 44734.00 would have been at 12 a.m. but since it is 1846 now, it is showing a decimal part of it. So this is what I meant, the decimal part of the date. So time is a complex subject for a person to understand. The reason being, the time actually starts from one point and it comes back to the same point again. So that makes it highly complex when you're writing formulas, and you have to be really careful when you have to select the right set of functions to arrive at the correct result. Now, this can come in the case of a person who has logged in, at one particular time and logged out another particular time, and you to understand how many hours was this person working in for a particular day. So that could be pretty easy, a simple calculation because he is logged in on the same day and logged out at the same day. But if it is an overlapping during the day, then that makes things really different. So that is a place where you'll have to use multiple functions to arrive at the correct result. So we will come across these examples, and these will be real-time examples that will give you a hands-on experience, and that should help you to make your work a lot more easier. So on final note, let's recap. We have covered functions. Under functions, we have covered concatenation, trim, clean function, length, upper function, lower function, proper, left, right, and mid functions. In the date and time, we have actually covered date. How do you, write a date, in what format you will write, and how is the time part of the date mentioned during a format, and different formats that can be used to present your data. Time again we discussed in hour, minutes, seconds, which gives the decimal part of the date, because during the day other than 12 a.m. The date will go as a, decimal number, and that will tell you the time of that particular day. and how to calculate or arrive at real-time examples, those will be covered in later sessions. And well, that's about it. So before signing off again, as always, please like, share, and subscribe. You have any queries or doubts regarding any of the functions, date, time, you can mention it in the comment section. I will go ahead and help you out and clear your doubts. Thanks all for watching. Thank you.